Now we will study p-type semiconductor. Like n-type semiconductor, this time also we will add some impurities to the pure semiconductor, but this time impurity we will select is boron. For boron, atomic number equal to 5. Atomic number equal to 5, there will be 2 electrons in first shell and there will be 3 electrons in second shell. 3 electrons in second shell means valency electrons equal to 3 for boron. For boron, valence electrons equal to 3. With this 3 valence electrons, this boron atom will be added to the pure semiconductor and the bond structure will be look like this. There will be a boron with only 3 valence electrons. Now this boron atom has only 3 valence electron, so its 3 valence electrons will be shared by 3 adjacent silicon atoms. Between this silicon atom and boron, there will be an incomplete bond which will be formed if a boron atom receives an electron, and after receiving this electron, this fourth bond which is incomplete will be completed. At T equal to 0 degrees Kelvin, uh, we are seeing that in this material, in this material, whole material, there is no electron free for conduction. Hence we can say that this material will also not conduct. Also, in this material we can see that if any electron break covalent bond, and if any electron break covalent bond, there will be formation of hole and free electron. This hole can be called as deficiency of electron, and we can say that with each boron atom in which fourth bond is incomplete, there is a deficiency of electron where electron can be accepted to complete its fourth incomplete bond. This deficiency and this deficiency both are different deficiency. This deficiency, its energy lie in valence band, while this deficiency, it has its energy lie outside the valence band. In the energy band diagram, like intrinsic semiconductor, everything will be same. There is little difference that in case of in intrinsic semiconductor, we have only one type of deficiency, that is called hole. But in case of boron, is in case of p-type semiconductor, we have another deficiency of electron, which uh, which l- which is with every boron atom, and this deficiency has its energy lie in the range showing in the diagram. Means this deficiency has energy just above valence band, and this energy level is called ea, acceptor energy level. The energy difference between ea and valence band, uh, the energy level, highest energy level of valence band ev, this energy difference is around 0.01 electron volt for germanium and 0.05 electron volt for silicon. Like n-type semiconductor, this the difference is 0.01 electron volt for germanium and 0.05 electron volt for silicon. At T equal to 0 degrees Kelvin, at a T equal to 0 degrees Kelvin, we have seen that no no electron no electron is free for conduction, is free for conduction. Hence hence p-type semiconductor also behave like an insulator. Now we will increase the temperature and we will see how charge carriers are generated in a p-type semiconductor. Now temperature is increased, boron atom is surrounded by silicon atoms. With each boron atom, there are only three valence electron, and all these three valence electron will be shared by adjacent three silicon atoms. The bond structure will look like this. There is one incomplete bond with each boron atom present in the material. Now, as we if we increase temperature, energy will be supplied to the electrons in the material. If any electron, suppose this electron, break the covalent bond, the deficiency of electron here will be represented with a hole, and this electron will be called free electron. Like this electron, there will be other electrons which break covalent bond and become free electron. Out of these free electron which have broken the covalent bond, out of these free electrons, there is possibility that some electron will be accepted, some electron is accepted by this boron impurity, and after accepting this electron, the fourth bond of boron will be completed. In this whole procedure, in this whole procedure, an electron was generated here. Along with this electron, a hole was also generated, but the generated electron was again accepted by boron, and Because of this accepted electron, the fourth bond of boron will be completed. But in this whole procedure, we can see that the generated electron was again accepted, and the result of this process is generation of hole only. Means we can show all this thing in energy band diagram. Deficiency with boron are all in acceptor energy level. An electron break the covalent bond in valence band. Due to this covalent bond, electron hole pair is generated. The generated electron will be again accepted by the boron atom to complete its fourth complete bond. Means we can say that this electron is not free because it is not in conduction band. Like this, there will be other electrons which are free, uh, which break the covalent bond and will be accepted by the boron atom, and some electrons after breaking bond will be free and available for conduction, will be shown in conduction band. And the energy band diagram of p-type semiconductor will look like this out of the generated electrons, most of the electrons were accepted in the acceptor energy level, while few electrons are available for conduction. In p-type semiconductor, now we can say that it will start conducting as charge carriers are generated. In p-type semiconductor, at increased temperature, there are some electrons in conduction band. These electrons are those which can take part in conduction, and there are some holes in valence band that can take part in conduction. In p-type semiconductor, the hole concentration in valence band is far greater than the electron concentration in conduction band. Hence we can say that in p-type semiconductor, majority charge carriers will be holes and minority charge carriers will be electrons. The impurity added to form p-type semiconductor is called acceptor impurity, because acceptor because it accepts an electron from the material to complete its fourth incomplete bond. And the concentration of this acceptor type impurity is written as Na atoms per centimeter cube, equal to, again, atomic density of silicon or germanium, whichever is used, atomic density into impurity ratio. Atomic density we have already seen. Atomic density equal to 4.422 into 10 raised to power 22 for germanium, and equal to 5 into 10 raised to power 22 for silicon. This atomic density can be used to calculate the acceptor impurity concentration in p-type semiconductor. These two material we have seen. First case we have added phosphorus with 5 valence electrons, and next time we added boron with 3 valence electrons. With 5 valence electron there was one extra electron, and with 3 valence electron there was a deficiency of electron. This one extra electron was donated to the material, hence called donor type impurity. And in this case, to complete its fourth incomplete bond, one electron was accepted by the impurity atom, and with the acceptance of this impurity, this electron, we can call it as acceptor type impurity. Now we will represent both p-type and n-type semiconductors on the paper. In p-type semiconductor, a boron atom which has only 3 valence electrons accepts one electron from the semiconductor material for completing its fourth incomplete bond. With the acceptance of this fourth electron, valence electron, for this boron atom, its nucleus will consist of 5 proton, while it will be surrounded by 6 electrons. As there are more negative charge than positive charge in the nucleus, this boron atom will be a atom with a positive charge, and an atom with positive charge is called positive ion. In case of phosphorus, it has 5 valence electrons, and out of these 5 valence electrons, one valence electron will be donated to the material, and with the donation of this one electron in phosphorus, the nucleus will consist of 15 proton, and it will be surrounded by only 14 electrons because one electron is donated to the material. And if we see this material in overall, we will see there are 14 electrons and 15 protons. There is one positive charge, uh, one more positive charge. Sorry, I have made a mistake. In in case of boron, there are 6 negative charge and 1 positive charge, 5 positive charge. There will be one net negative charge, and it will be called negative ion. In case of phosphorus, there are 15 protons and 14 electrons surrounded. Mm, and if we see this atom in overall, we will see there are 15 positive charge, 14 negative charge, and we can conclude that there is net one positive charge on this atom, and we will call it as a positive ion. Means in n-type semiconductor there will be positive ions, and in p-type semiconductor there will be negative ions. Now we can represent these two material on paper. In n-type semiconductor, the each phosphorus atom will donate its fifth electron, and after donation it will acquire a positive charge, and it will be called positive ion. This positive charge is acquired by with the donation of one electron, so I will represent this electron here. And like this, each phosphorus atom will acquire a positive charge with the donation of 1/5 electron, and also there will be a bond breaking process, and due to this bond breaking process electron hole pairs are generated. And this will be final representation of n-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, we can see there are positive ions, electrons and holes. Electrons concentration is far greater than electron concentration. Similarly, in p-type semiconductor, each boron atom will accept an electron, and with the acceptance of one electron, it will acquire a negative charge, and it will be called a negative ion. And earlier we have seen that the accepted electron, uh, earlier it had broken any covalent bond, and the with the covalent bond broken, electron hole pair were generated, and the generated electron was accepted by this boron to acquire negative charge, and in this process the result is a formation of hole. With each boron impurity, there will be one electron accepted and there will be a hole formation. Also there will be a bond breaking process, and with each broken bond, electron hole pairs be generated. And now in p-type semiconductor we can see that there are negative ions, there are majority charge carriers as holes, and there are some negatively charged carriers means electrons. This is the representation of n-type and p-type semiconductor. Now we will see some basic definition related to semiconductor. First, law of electrical neutrality. Law of electrical neutrality states that a semiconductor is always electrically electrically neutral. Electrically neutral doesn't mean that there are no charge in the material. There will be charge, but positive charge will be equal to negative charge. In case of semiconductors, we have already seen in semiconductor there will be a charge carrier called electron with negative charge. There will be a charge carrier called hole with positive charge. Charge will be equivalent. And in n-type semiconductor we have seen that in n-type semiconductor each phosphorus atom will donate an electron and it will acquire a positive charge. So these donor type impurities will be accounted as a positive charge, and the acceptor type impurities will accept an electron and acquire negative charge. So these will be positive charges in the material and these will be negative charges in the material. According to law of electrical neutrality, a semiconductor material is always electrically neutral, means total positive charge should be equal to total negative charge. From this we can say that there are four type of charges: total positive charge equal to total negative charge, nd plus p, this is total positive charge equal to and a plus n total negative charge. We can write this equation as nd minus na equal to p minus n. So this is law of electrical neutrality. This law of electrical neutrality is very important. We will derive some equations using this law of electrical neutrality, which will be used in solving the problems of electronic devices and circuits. We will take a case of intrinsic semiconductor. Intrinsic semiconductor. In intrinsic semiconductor there are no donor type impurity, there are no acceptor type impurity, means na and d equal to 0. So according to law of electrical neutrality, nd is 0 plus p equal to na is 0 plus n. So here we get n equal to p, and we already know that in intrinsic semiconductor hole concentration equal to electron concentration. Number two, n-type semiconductor. If the semiconductor is n-type semiconductor, we will derive some equations for n-type semiconductor. In n-type semiconductor, the acceptor impurity concentration is 0. No acceptor impurity is added. There is only donor type impurity. So we can write law of electrical neutrality as Nd plus P equal to 0 plus N. This equation can be written as N minus P equal to Nd. And for n-type semiconductor, electron concentration is very greater than hole concentration. So we can say that is n minus p is nearly equal to n, and putting this in this equation, we get n is nearly equal to nd. So here we can conclude that in n-type semiconductor, the electron concentration is nearly equal to donor impurity concentration. There will be little difference in the concentration of donor type impurity and electron concentration in n-type semiconductor. Similarly, in p-type semiconductor, acceptor type impurities are added, so donor type impurity concentration nd will be equal to 0. For this p-type semiconductor, we can write the law of electrical neutrality as 0 plus p equal to nd plus n. This equation can be written as na plus n. This equation can be written as p minus n equal to na. P is very greater than N for p-type semiconductor because holes are majority charge carriers in p-type semiconductor. So P minus N is nearly equal to P. There will be little difference between P minus N and P because P is very greater than N. So here we can put this equation in this. So we get P is nearly equal to Na. So in p-type semiconductor, the hole concentration is nearly equal to acceptor impurity concentration. These two equations will be used in solving problems of electronic devices and circuits. If hole concentration and electron concentrations are required to be substituted, and if these values are not given, we will put nd in place of n and we will put na in place of p.